Hello everyone. In this video, we'll take a look at the order and size of a graph. The order of a graph or a digraph is defined as the size of the set capital V. That is the number of vertices in the graph. It is also sometimes denoted as mod G. And the size of this graph is mod E, that is the number of edges in the graph. Now let's take an example of a graph. So let's say this is the graph that we have. Here we have vertices V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. So we have 5 vertices, that means the order will be 5. And we have edges E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6 and E7. So we have 7 vertices. So the size of the graph will be 7. Now what is the maximum size possible for a graph of order n? That is, what are the maximum number of edges possible in a graph which has n vertices? So the maximum number of edges you can draw is the same as the number of ways you can select two vertices. So let's select the first vertex and call it x. We can select x in n ways because there are n vertices. To select the other vertex y, we are left with n minus 1 choices because one vertex has already been chosen and we don't want self loops. So we can select two vertices in n into n minus 1 ways by multiplication principle. So is it right? Is this answer right? Let's understand with an example. Let's take an example of a graph with 4 vertices. Let's label the vertices as A, B, C, D. Now the edges possible in this graph will be AB, AC, AD, BA, BC, BD, CA, CB, CD, DA, DB, DC. Now n is 4, n minus 1 is 3, so 4 into 3 is 12. These are the 12 edges possible as per the formula we saw in the previous slide. Now the problem here is, what is the type of the graph? If the graph is an undirected graph, then we are duplicating the edges. So for example, AB and BA will be the same. AC and CA will be the same. BC and CB will be the same. In fact, exactly half of the edges will be the same as the remaining half if the graph is an undirected graph. However, if it is a directed graph like we had seen in the previous video, then each edge does not only have endpoints but it also has a direction. That is, AB means starting point is A, ending point is B, and BA means starting point is B, ending point is A. So AB and BA are totally different edges, right? So if it is an undirected graph, the answer is twice the correct answer, and if it is a directed graph, then the answer is correct, right? So is it right depends on the type of the graph, whether it is undirected or directed. For a digraph, yes, answer is n into n minus 1. But for an undirected graph, no, because we are calculating each edge twice, and therefore it will be n into n minus 1 by 2 for an undirected graph.